I don't have a ton of time today, but I wanted to see if maybe we could do one or two connections. I know I like when I feel excitement around doing this is when like I tend to jump on. People are asking like, you know, when do you do these? Do you schedule these? I do not schedule these. I literally wait for it feels like confirmation from spirit to jump on here. And that's when I jump on. So I have to go at like 12:45 p.m. Pacific time. So again, these are good. I'm not going to be on here for too long today. But again, I was feeling excited, so I wanted to hop on. So welcome, hi, hello. My name is Nimue. I'm a professional psychic, intuitive, and evidential medium and channel. These are spirit-led mediumship demonstrations, meaning I don't pick anybody out in the chat beforehand. I just kind of like open up the doors of perception, see who walks through, and see if there isn't somebody in the chat who connects with the spirit that I am linking with. If you could do me a favor, tap the screen, share this with your friends. I usually begin these demonstrations around like 5K. And that usually happens pretty quick, so we don't have to wait too long for this to happen. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Definitely click that follow button so you can stay up to date to when I go live. As I was mentioning earlier, I don't typically schedule these. My scheduled readings are for patrons only. I'm gonna have to think of a code word for that. I think like as of tomorrow, you're not allowed to mention other platforms on TikTok, like at risk of getting banned or something. So I'm gonna have to figure out some kind of code for that. Hello, Mamie. I come on here when I feel led to come on here, when I feel excited to come on here. And I did feel a little bit of a push about 10 minutes ago. So I did a meditation, came on. And we might only have time to do like one or two connections today, but that's okay. That's better than no connections, right? So keep tapping that screen. Once we get to 5K is when we will begin. And you guys are more than welcome to ask questions in the meantime in the chat. You can ask questions about mediumship. You can ask me personal questions. I can't promise I'll answer everything, but we can kind of see, yeah, if you have questions about spiritual practices. I just uploaded the last stream that I did. I think it was like 2 days ago, where we had a horse come through, which was a first for me. I think maybe I could be wrong about that. I seem to remember a mediumship session I had in Sedona where I think I tapped into a horse, but not to the capacity that I did in that last stream. It was amazing. It was so good. So we're not doing tarot or oracle style questions except for subscribers and patrons, and that will be at the end of this stream. Hold on 1 second. I don't like your attitude. Bye-bye. That's a rude question, I think, to ask somebody that you've never met before. Thank you for the follow, Nars. I want to say Nas because of Pinky and the Brain. I don't know if that's where that comes from. Can we pay for a mediumship reading on here? These are free. You can, if you want a guaranteed one-on-one session with me, go to the booking link in my bio, and my offerings can be found there. Is there any problem with someone who isn't a believer? As in, like, if somebody wasn't a believer, that might also be on the other side, because if that's the case, then the answer is no. I've had atheists come through. I've had Catholics, Muslims, Jewish people. It does not matter, at least in my experience. Thank you for the follow, Holly B. Thanks for tapping the screen, you guys. Again, once we get to 5K is when we'll start the demonstration today. These are spirit-led. I do not charge for these. Sam, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Any other questions that you guys might have while we wait for people to come in? Like I said, you guys can ask me pretty much anything. It doesn't mean I'll necessarily answer everything, like that person I just blocked. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. And then at the end of the evidential mediumship demonstration is when I'm going to pull cards for, you can see a subscriber right there, Miss Cat Spirit Fingers. She has Faye after her name. I do single card pulls at the end of these. So we do a little bit of a combination. It's like mostly the evidential mediumship demonstration and then some tarot oracle at the end. Do you think seeing angel numbers is a sign of something? I think here's what I think of it, okay? And it depends, because sometimes it is I've had people in spirit give me very specific numbers that they're using to kind of get your attention. I personally just think as a whole, angel numbers are reflective of the fact that the universe knows that you're paying attention. It's like validation, confirmation, like your consciousness sees that consciousness and it's kind of like a wink. Like that's how I look at it. You know, I'm sure there's a million other spiritual practitioners with different ideas about it. Thanks for the follows, you guys. I saw them a lot when I was pregnant, but that baby passed. Interesting. My condolences also, Cass. Thank you, Tiffany. We're almost at 5K. We can almost start. All right. So the way that this is going to, the number 3 and the 333, I've been getting a ton of them over the past month. I know a lot of people are suggesting that we've made a big timeline shift with the eclipse portal. Eclipses do tend to shift things around, I find, and we have another big eclipse. I think it's the 27th. It's either the 25th or the 27th. It's towards the end of the month. We have another new moon in Virgo. I think it's going to be at the 29th degree of Virgo. It's fine. We'll be fine. Thank you for the follow, Bridge. Okay, so let's get going just because I don't have a lot of time today. I have to go to work in about an hour. We're just going to open up the waiting room door. So just a couple of quick, explanations and ground rules. Not to sound like but if you can take 99 to 100% of what comes through, what I'm going to have you guys do is put the percentage and a heart. Okay, that way I can kind of hone in on who the sitter might be. You're welcome to stay in the chat. Sometimes people like to come up in the live so they can like talk on the live as well. You have that option. This is spirit led, meaning I don't pick anybody beforehand. Okay, I just kind of see who comes through. I tend to get dogpiled. I call it getting pancaked a lot, which means that because spirit is efficient, like a number of people might be able to take like a solid chunk of the evidence that's coming through because there are enough similarities between your loved ones that they're all trying to come through to you at the same time. Spirit is going to try to get to as many people as possible in the time allowed. That has been my experience as a medium. I think other mediums are different. That just seems to be how my channel operates. Okay. If I am in a reading with somebody, I just ask that you respectfully hold comments. Let me be able to focus on that person. My ADD, if I see the chat going and going and going, I will have to lovingly mute you. It's temporary. It's not forever. Just so we can honor the person that is receiving the reading. Okay. Thank you, Sunshine. And again, if you get muted, it's with love. It's temporary. It's so I can focus on the person that I'm reading for. Okay. So, any questions before we start? Where's my little, there it is. Let's see who spirit is bringing for. Oh, and you guys might want to just, before we start, take a breath into the heart. Breath into the heart space. You can imagine light filling your heart space. You can imagine the love that you have for your loved ones in spirit filling the heart space. You might want to, and I would say do this not in the chat, but where you are, say out loud the name of the person you would like to connect with today. And get nice and relaxed. Also, last thing, don't put any personal information in the chat. Okay, sometimes scammers sneak in there and they'll use that to try to lure you in. Okay. I think I have a little boy here. This might be a little bit of an intense one just to start today, guys. I'm just going to content warning this a little bit. I know it can be a little bit more emotional when the littles come through. So I do feel that I have a little boy here. I do not see him being much older than 2 years old. I do see him sucking his thumb. I do see him with a stuffy. It kind of looked like a tiger to me when I was looking at it. There is a B like Brian name that would be connected to either him or somebody he knows that might still be here on this earth. There was a dog in the family, and there's something traumatic connected to this boy's father. I do not know yet if this has to do with the nature of his passing, but it does feel like there is kind of like a scary male presence that would have been in his life. And I do feel as though the mother of this child is trying to kind of protect or shield him from whoever this is. Okay. He's chillin'. I need to tell you right away that this little boy is okay. I feel like that's the first concern that would come up for whoever this sitter is. Is he okay? Is he okay? He's absolutely fine. He's doing great. He feels like he's in the arms. It feels like it could be a grandmother, but it does feel like he's being surrounded with love, with other loved ones that are in spirit with him. I need you to be able to take that he would suck his thumb. That does feel important to bring up because he keeps showing me with his thumb in his mouth. I do not feel like he had much of a vocabulary. Again, he feels very, very young to me. I'm trying to ask him about the nature of his passing, but that has not come up yet. He's bringing me to his throat. So Angela, if you can take that information coming through, but right now I'm not picking anybody beforehand. And if you guys need me to recap it, I'm totally happy to do so. I'm going to sit with this little guy for a little bit longer and see what else he can tell me. I would say that the mother blames herself for his passing, and I think he's here to say this is not your fault in any way, shape, or form. There's also a grandfather in spirit that's connected with this little boy that's very protective, and I do feel as though this would have been a grandfather that would have been close to the mother of this child in a very positive way. Sandwiches. Something about sandwiches. He's bringing me to the months of January and February, kind of like the beginning of the year. So, okay, just to recap, all right, I do have a little boy here. I don't want to put him much older than 2. You would have to be able to take that he would suck his thumb. I am also seeing him hold it's either a stuffy or a blanket. I thought it was a stuffed tiger at first, but it could also be a blanket the more I sit with him. So he's kind of just sitting there, sucking his thumb. He's got his blanket. There is something about a very difficult, potentially violent situation with an older man that could be his father. But I'm not actually 100% sure that's true. Now that I'm sitting with it. There could have been just difficulty in the family unit, difficulty with bringing him up. I do feel as though the mother needs to know that he is okay, or whoever his sitter is needs to know that he is okay. He's surrounded with love. He's got some grandparents that are taking care of him right now on the other side. There is a B like Brian name connected to him. He's making me feel very dizzy. So I do have a little bit of vertigo, a little bit of lightheadedness. There's something about the throat that he's bringing up with me. Like I said, this is a little bit of a tricky reading. I know that some of this evidence is a little tough. So if you guys need to dip because it's too much, I completely understand. He's okay. Like that was one of the first things that he brought through. He's like, I'm fine. I'm doing fine. I am surrounded with love. I am perfectly happy, not in any pain, nothing like that. He brought me to like the months of January and February for some reason, kind of like the beginning of the month. So if you can take 99 to 100% of that, put that in the chat. We are going to hang out until we find this little guy's person. There is also something about the side of his, I don't know if this is his head or somebody else. He's with his grandfather. His grandfather is also coming through at the same time. And it does feel like grandfather is very, very close, had a positive relationship, at least at some point with his mother. His mother would have a sister as well. Yeah, January. He keeps talking about January specifically. So January could be a birthday, day of passing, anniversary. This is really triggering stuff, so I want to be careful how much I bring through. Is there anybody that can take any of this coming through? He's so cute. He's such a cute little 98% Blakely. Okay, what can't you take, my love? 90% for Chandrell. Okay, big postcard for Chandrell. A lot resonates except age. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to focus in on Blakely, guys, just because 98% is pretty good. I'm just curious to know, and there's 98 people in the chat, or there were right when I said that. I'm wondering what you can't take out of that. And there's an R, like Richard name, that I'm getting connected with him, B and R. I am hearing the name Brian. And again, that could be somebody in spirit or somebody that's still on earth. Father being great in the throat. Okay. Would there have been some kind of difficulty with a male presence in his mother's life or in his life? I don't know that this was his father. Like there was some, the more I sat with him, I don't know if this was like somebody else that was causing problems, but I did feel some kind of aggression or some kind of anger from a male figure coming in. So I just do need to address that. But if you can take the rest of it, I am going to continue to sit with you. But again, it feels kind of temporary, or just feels maybe it's like a panic situation, because he's little. So the way that he perceived it might be a little bit different than the situation actually was, right? Like I'm looking through the eyes of a very little child. So it could have been panic that he's bringing me to, but it just feels like a male energy in kind of a very, very activated state. So I'm wondering if, even if it's not his father, if that could be somebody else that you could connect that with. And if you want to come up, let me know in the chat. I'm wondering if this isn't panic. And he might have at one point, the throat could have been like I swallowed something I shouldn't have. I don't believe this was the manner of his passing though. So I don't know if he's like, just kind of like he had to cough something up. Good guy, and they were close. Have some tension. Chandra, what person? Okay, I'm going to do a quick recap just for everybody. I am currently focused on Blakely just because Blakely took 98% of what's coming through. But I'm going to just do a recap. If you can take 100%, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, understand that you guys are getting what we call postcards and or billboards, right? Especially if a ton of the evidence is lining up, even if it's not quite 100%. I do have a little boy here. Okay, I do not see him being much older than 2 years old. Your birthday is in January and he passed in February. Blakely, I think this is you. We'll come back to this gentleman that feels upset. I'm wondering if it isn't somebody finding out about him passing and them having a little bit of a moment. That's the more I sit with it, the more that's kind of what this feels like. And I'm wondering if he ever just like if you ever had to kind of like pat him on the back and get something out of his mouth. That could be the throat that he's bringing me to here. I'm going to invite, you don't have to come up if you don't want to. If you want to stay in the chat, you're more than welcome to. I do have to address also, like, just, especially if this was a more recent thing, whoever, my husband... Your husband. Okay, so it was traumatic when he got the call. That's what this is. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's also something just about seeing him. Again, this is really, I have to be mindful of what I say, especially on a TikTok live, just because some of the evidence he's bringing me to. I think he just wants you to know, Blakely, that he understands how traumatic this was, especially if you had to see him afterwards. There was something about like a toe tag coming through and just like the overwhelmingness of everything. And again, he keeps interspersing this with being like, I'm okay. I know this was awful, but I'm okay. It was unexpected. Yeah. Would you understand him being with his grandfather and that being like a really solid connection? I don't know if this is your dad or your husband's dad, but I just feel a very positive relationship with this older man in spirit that is also on the other side with him. Grandparents. Okay. All right, beautiful. Let me sit with him a little bit longer. Anything else, this little guy? You could take the B, like Brian name that was connected to Blakely. Answering my own questions, unless there's also a Brian that you're connected to. But I saw the B name, so let me sit with him a little bit longer. Did he have a special juice that he liked to drink? He's saying juice, 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 juice. It feels like I don't like milk, I like juice, is kind of what I'm getting from him. Would you understand the juice that he's talking about, Blakely? He drank juice a lot. Yeah, I feel like he likes it quite a bit over milk, like even chocolate milk. Like I think if you gave him an offering of chocolate milk or juice, he'd be like, juice, juice, juice. Okay, more than milk. Would you understand him saying, again, I need to be sensitive to this. Something about him just like sleeping for a long time. Did he sleep through the night pretty well when he was an infant? Like I do feel like he's showing me the number 18, like 18 hours of sleep or something like that. I'm not sure if you can make sense of that or not. Also, he's bringing me to a cow. I don't know if he had a stuffed cow or a toy that was a cow. Or something with cow print on it. He's really funny. I feel like he's kind of like in his own like world, and he's like, I feel like he was like talking, or like, you know, not quite verbal yet, but like talking things out like on his own time. You love cow print. Okay. Would you understand why he was 8 months. Okay. 8 months. Would you understand him bringing me to having a fever? Like, I feel like I'm very feverish at the moment. I think that's what this is, because I feel like I have chills, but I'm also very warm. Yeah, there's something about body temperature that he's bringing me to, Blakely. I'm not sure if you can take that or not. He's also bringing me right back to that dog. Do you guys have a dog who's like trying to take care of you? I feel like there's a dog that's around while people are mourning, and the dog is kind of mourning with you. Yes, possibly, actually. Can you take the dog kind of being around and helping you guys through this process? Like, I feel this guy's like head kind of like we do, and yes, okay. Thank you for that. Would you understand the Colorado connection? Something, it feels like Colorado to me. He's such a cutie pie. Your family has a cabin in Colorado. Okay, thank you for that. He's bringing me to his smile. He's bringing me to his smile. Like, okay, so what I can see is he's in his onesie and he's tiny. Like, I feel like this would have been when he was like still really, really young, like really new. It got burned down. They just finished rebuilding it. Interesting. Okay. There's this. Okay, I feel this is what I'm getting. And let me know if this is a memory you can connect with. And this is going to be a little gross, but I feel like he just had an event in his diaper, and he's like, like I feel like you witnessed him do this, and then he just smiled. And I don't know if it was just like smiling because it felt good. Oh, baby. Do you have this memory of him like having a moment with his diaper and just being like, like I know what I did. It's kind of giving that. His smile is everything to me. So I don't know if you can take that or not, but that was just a memory he brought me to. He's real little too when he's bringing me there. Always smiling, happiest boy. Do you have this specific memory though of like the diaper incident, and then him kind of like being like, I know what I did. Like it just feels like there's kind of like a surprise from the side of the parents being like, damn dude, like you're like a little nugget. You have videos and pictures of it. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Kids got jokes, huh? Anything else from this little guy? Is this a dandelion? Would you understand him bringing me to, I think this is a dandelion. Hi, Darlene. If you could just hold comments, babe. We're in the middle of a reading. I need to talk about the dandelions. You're gonna make me cry. Oh, I made a video of pictures of him to the song Dandelion. Okay. Do you have, are there any painted rocks either in your house or in a garden somewhere? He's bringing me to painted rocks. I'm wondering if you can take that as well. This kid's so full of light too. I just need to talk about how much light is just in him and around him. There's something about painted rocks. So also, do you bite your nails, babe? There's something about my kids have painted rocks before, but I'm not sure where they are. Okay, interesting. Okay, he has siblings. Got it. Do you bite your nails? There's something about nail biting. I don't know if he's bringing this up for you. Sometimes they'll bring through things that they can see us doing, or they'll kind of, comment on things around us so that we know that they're around us all the time. But there's something about nail biting or short nails. He's so funny. I feel like he laughed a lot. I need to talk about him just like kicking, like, when like they kick their feet at the same time and then their whole body is just like jerking around because they're laughing so hard. I used to badly, but my husband and son are the worst. They have nubby sausage fingers. Okay. Okay. That's funny. So they're short. Okay. Thank you for that validation. He's showing the like kick, the double foot kick and like the laughter. I feel like he was very, very happy. Was he all the time deep belly laughs? Was he pretty tiny even for how old he was? Because he keeps showing, I feel like he's very, very, very small. So I'm not sure if he was, I have a video of that too. Also, the color light blue is coming through. I don't know if this would have been a color in his room or a color coming through the window, but something about light blue and maybe a bit of yellow is something I'm picking up on for him. Or if you can take that for your other kids too. But it feels like light blue. There's a little bit of yellow that he's bringing me to, and I see a window as well. Also, he's joking about how mighty his burps were, and I feel like there were a couple of spit up moments that were legendary. Like, this kid's a legend. I need to talk about him being a legend with respect to like the diaper incident, the projectile, the belly laughs. So I'm wondering if you can take that too. What a character. Like, I feel like I'm like really good at like when you burped him. Oh man. Also I feel like I'm asking you too many questions at once, so I want to just wait for some of those other ones before I throw another one at you. Keeps bringing me to this because he had a stuffy in the beginning and he's bringing me big burper. Is that what he's laughing about? Big burper, and has even spit up in my mouth. That's oh my goodness. Okay, thank you for that confirmation and that validation. He's so funny. Do you understand the blue and the yellow that he's bringing me to, Blakely? There's also this he has an older woman and an older man that even when he was still here were around him. Like, I'm seeing this older woman who's in spirit actually like look over in the crib with him. So he's been taken care of. He's being well taken care of, but I'm wondering about the blue and the yellow. And I'm wondering about the stuffy that he's bringing me to. It feels like it's around in the house, kind of like in memory to him. Her favorite color was yellow. Okay. Can you take the light blue? There's something about like a light, is periwinkle the right word? And a lot of his things were baby blue. Thank you for that. Do you have a stuffy somewhere put aside for him, kind of like in memory for him? He's got the big, he just keeps showing me this big gummy smile. He's got the biggest smile. And I feel like, I don't know, there's a couple of moments where he's laughing, where I feel like especially his dad kind of being like, how are you this little and you know this is funny? Like he's very, I feel like he was very perceptive about things that were hysterical. Okay, you do have some of his stuffies. Do you understand like specifically his dad, like either really making him laugh or being surprised that like the kid, he would see something and laugh that hard being as little as he was? And it does feel connected specifically to his dad. Like I need to bring that forward. Also, I feel him touching his dad's face like this. And I don't know if there's stubble, but I feel like there might have been stubble and just touching his face. We spoke about it all the time. His dad and his brother could just look at him and he would. Okay. That laughter was authentic. Like I have to tell you, it came from a very pure place. Like there was something about them that just brought him into this hysterical place. And I'm feeling like gratitude about that. It's like, thank you for making me laugh. Thank you for being so whatever, ridiculous, silly. Like he just couldn't help himself but laugh about them. Okay, he's bringing me to December. The month of December. He always played with my husband's beard. It's not full on, but a little more than stubble. Okay, thank you for that. Would you understand why he's bringing me to December? This feels like it's connected to one of your other kids. My son that always made him laugh, his older brother's B-Day. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. If you ever sang to him, whether he was still on this planet or whether he had already departed, he needs you to know that he heard you. He hears you all the time. Something being enshrined. He's talking about something, I don't know if this is him or maybe his grandparents talking about something being enshrined. But there's something about you singing or humming and him hearing you. So I just want to bring that forward. When you're alone, it feels like when you're alone specifically. So I don't know if there was one particular lullaby you had for him or a song that makes you, I did all the time. Yeah, there it is. One specific song. Okay. Yep. He hears you. He knows it. I think he would say, he's almost like singing it with you. I feel like him humming it with you almost. I almost want to tell you, and I don't usually say this because this isn't evidential. I know this is not an evidential statement, but he's with the angels. Like he's showing me angels and like I'm like the archangels specifically. So I do want to bring that forward, unless there is a connection to angels or archangels within your family. Many of those I listened to after. I feel like he could have like immediately, like I feel like this like 8-month-old could have been like, yeah, like the eyebrow raise, like he's very, very expressive, very tuned in to his family, and loved to laugh. I just need to tell you how much he loved to laugh and how much he loved that you guys made him laugh. Is there anything else from him? These little feetsies. He's showing these little. Did he have a tendency to wear? I hear the angels. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Would you understand him bringing me to a pair of socks and then like he's always got one sock on and the other sock is either halfway on or off entirely? And I do feel like there's like stripes on these socks or stripes in his onesie or stripes in whatever else he was wearing, but there's something about socks and like you'd put them on and then one would halfway be off. Okay, all I heard you say was the angels and it muted. Yeah, all I said was that it feels like he's with the angels or there's some connection between angels and your family. And then now there's the piece about the socks coming through. It's little feet. It's little feetsies. Oh, okay, yes, okay. Would you understand there being stripes either around it feels like the socks are striped. It could be his onesie, but there's something about like a stripe situation with the socks as well. Okay, guys, if everyone could just hold comments. We are in a reading right now. I have a striped onesie he wore the night he passed, saved. Oh my goodness. Okay, Blakely, thank you so much for that confirmation. Would you understand, Blakely, why he's bringing me to the song Kissed by a Rose by Seal? From the Batman Forever soundtrack. Not sure on that one. Okay, we'll put a pin in that one. Sometimes I just like to offer, if that song like suddenly comes on the radio like today or in the near future, just know that might be a little bit of a postcard from him. Sometimes it's worth it to check out the lyrics of the song too, to see if there's any Easter eggs in there. Anything else? Any M like Melissa names connected to him? Yeah, check with your husband. Or I am going to post this on YouTube in the next couple of days. So if you have any other family members or friends where you think maybe they might know, you can definitely show this to them. So definitely give me a follow on YouTube when we're done, or you can message me and I'll send you the link. Your grandmother was Meme. Okay. And yeah, he's been talking about his grandparents since he came in. He's such a sweetheart. Last thing, I want to make sure this is him and not somebody else. Something about cracking nuts or tough. I don't know if this is tough nut to crack or if he's showing me cracking nuts. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's something about like, I don't know if this is walnuts or hazelnuts, but there's something about that coming through. She did. Okay, this is her. Okay, fabulous. Were you surprised at her strength to do this? Like, I feel like she just had an iron grip when it came to doing this. Does that make sense? Like, screw arthritis. We're cracking nuts. You know what I mean? Anything else from... Would you understand? Let me sit with this a little bit longer. Hold on. Cupcakes. Would she put, she did have arthritis too. Did she put, there's, I don't know if this is muffins or cupcakes, but there's some kind of confectionery, is that the right word? Like a dessert. And there's like sprinkled hazelnuts or walnuts on them. Would you understand what she's bringing me to here? Also, she's bringing me to a turtle. I'm not sure if she or someone in your... Yes, okay. Would you understand the turtle connection or why she's bringing me to a turtle? There's also something about dementia. I'm not sure if that's connected to her or somebody else in the family. Could be somebody on the other side of the family, but I was obsessed with turtles. I had 7 at one time as a teenager. Awesome. It was her that had dementia. Okay. I hope this is the right way to... I feel like she's bringing me... I think these are what you would call ham hocks. I'm not sure if this was something she'd put into like a big thing of soup or stew. I don't even know if I know what a ham hock is. It feels like a kind of a bone, like a bone that might have a little bit of meat around it, that she's using to make a stock or that she's using to make a soup. Would you understand the ham hocks? This is delicious, whatever this is. I do see some herbs in there too. Feels like potatoes would be in there. She feels very pleasant to me also. Like, she's got a lot of love in her, and quite the personality as well. She cooked a lot. Okay. Did she ever sing, someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, someone's in the kitchen, I know. I don't know if that's just her telling me she loved to be in the kitchen, but that song started playing in my head. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Yes, okay. Okay, Tanya's getting a bunch of postcards. Okay. Would you understand why she's saying the word rebel to me? Something about rebel. Or to rebel. I don't know if this is like an inside thing between you and her, but rebel. You. Okay. Was her kitchen always pretty clean? Like, I feel like she's very, like, it feels immaculate to me. You were a tough teenager, okay. Did she have a pretty spotless kitchen when she wasn't cooking? It was, yes. There's this energy around her that makes me feel like to have a clean kitchen was to have peace in the mind and peace in the body. Like, it made her feel relaxed to have the kitchen clean. Would you understand why she's making my hand shake? I've got a little bit of a shake coming on. Yeah, she's definitely showing me a lot of different things she has on the stove too. She was weak in the last few years. Okay. She's like, I'm not weak now. And I just saw like a star. All right. Anything else from either of these two? I just want to thank you, Blakely, so much for letting us hold space with you and your family, your grandmother and your son. They're doing great. They're with each other. They have so much love for you and the rest of your family. And I don't know if your husband is open to this kind of thing, but definitely, like, I mean, your whole family, right? Like, let them know that you guys are being watched over by them. I wish you would have screen recorded it. So, like I said, I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel later. So if you message me, send me a private message, and that way I can send you the link when it's all uploaded. It might take me a couple of days just because I'm a little busy, but I'd be happy to make sure that this stays up so you can rewatch it, okay? And I would just love for everybody to send as much love as they possibly can in the chat for Blakely and her loved ones. I love that they came in together. Shannon, correct. Oh, thank you, Darlene. Blakely, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, my love. What a funny little guy. He was so fun. And Blakely, if there's anything you want to share, you can. And again, like anything that we validate or share on a live, like just make sure I will never ever reach out to you for a reading privately. No ethical reader ever will. So just if you ever get one of those, just immediately block. Yes, Shannon, I've had actually a number of people come through being like, I can't believe I like my physical self would not believe that I'm doing this. So yes, they absolutely can. I might have time for one more quick one. My grandfather keeps coming to me in my dreams. So I do have a link, guys. My schedule's a little limited. I'm always open on Wednesdays, but otherwise I kind of go week to week to week. So if you would like to schedule a one-on-one, like a guaranteed reading, the link is in the bio. I do it on Zoom. We record the session, so that way you can always have access to in case there's any evidence that comes through that can't be confirmed in the moment. This happened recently. I had a couple come on and we did a reading, and there was like maybe like 4 or 5 things that they couldn't verify in the moment, and then they messaged me the next day and they were like, oh my God, like, because sometimes it takes a minute to be like, oh, that's what they were talking about, or that's what, so that's fun to have that to be able to go back to. It can. Eileen, I had a sitter on here maybe a month ago. They said they'd been waiting 20 years. Like it's divine timing. I need to emphasize that even if they don't come through right when you want them to, they are around. I often invite sitters, like especially if you're going to do a one-on-one, try to come open as much as you can. 1 second, please. I try to come open. As with any reading, I think if we're projecting less expectation, because expectation is like tension, right? That doesn't mean that they're not around, and that doesn't push them away. It can just make our perception a little bit more narrow. That makes me feel better. It's been 3 years. Yeah, I've told this story before. I tell it a lot. My friend who kind of like awakened this ability, so to speak, in me. It took 15 years for him to come through, and literally the message that came through from the other person who did not know anything about this guy was like, "Bitch, you know I'm around. Like, you know I'm like, what do you mean you want me to? I'm already here. Like, I'm always here." So that was him too. That was very much like his kind of personality. So they're always around. And I think sometimes like it's just inviting the trust and the understanding. I know when I get visitations from my loved ones in spirit, it's often very overwhelming, right? Like, even though I know they're okay, even though I do this for like a living, when they come and visit me, my heart responds, in kind. And, sometimes there's this wisdom in spirit. They don't want to overwhelm you. They don't want to flood you. They don't want you to be incapacitated from certain kinds of experiences. Even if we think we're okay, like it's been in some cases decades, for some of these folks. And still when I feel them, I have to stop and catch my breath, because my heart still holds that grief and still holds that love for them. Thank you, Caitlin. My aunt just had one just after she passed. She said there was so much light. So where do they go when they're not here visiting with us? Great question, Juju. I feel as though the best way I can answer that, not having been to the other side myself, it feels like a different dimension. It feels like a timeless dimension. It feels like maybe a quantum dimension of some kind. It feels like peace. It feels like love. Some people use the word heaven, but I know there are some religious connotations to that not everybody vibes with. It feels like the eternal. That's the best way I can describe it. And it does feel like, a couple of them will come through showing themselves relaxing, chilling, celebrating the fact that they're surrounded by their loved ones. How to schedule a session. If you click my name, there is a link in the bio, and there you can click it. That's got my link tree on it. So it's got all of my stuff. It's got my YouTube channel, my booking link, my Patreon, which I think as of tomorrow, I'm not gonna be able to say out loud. The Patreon is great, lots of content. I am gonna try to schedule in a patron only mediumship Zoom call at the end of the month. So you're a little bit more likely to get a reading in that sense, because there's gonna be a smaller amount of people there, more than likely. Do any come showing pain or darkness? Nope. No, they'll sometimes bring me to memories of their life that were difficult, but never from the other side. No, absolutely not. Literally never. Literally never. No one's stuck. No one is suffering. You can't carry that shit with you, from my understanding. Is there a cost to these readings? No. To book one-on-one, yes. Yes, there is. Think of it like I think of like paying for readings like an energy exchange. It's, you're receiving something, you're giving something. That I had to start thinking of it that way when I was a massage therapist back in the day, because I didn't want to charge anybody for anything. Because I was like, everybody should just have access to it. And then somebody brought it up to me. It's an energy exchange. Like, you are literally being fed, you are being housed, you are being taken care of because you are taking care of others. And ever since then, I've been able to let go of that, like, fuck capitalism, fuck capitalism. But like if you guys feel me. I feel comfortable here. Oh, Eileen, good. That makes me happy. And just because I think of their dimension, like the other dimension from the film Contact. Yeah, totally. I love that movie. Oh my God. So I think, is there time to do one more quick one? Cause I have to actually go, relatively, you know what, guys, I might have to go. Okay. So I will try to come on. I can't always predict when I'm going to come on because I have clients tomorrow and I work 2 jobs. I do this, actually, well, 3 if you consider the crystal business. I'm a courier, I do this, and I also sell crystals and rocks so I'm very, very busy. So definitely give me a follow. Join the Patreon, absolutely. And guys, with the time I do have left, if there are any subscribers like Jen that have Faye after their name or that are a patron, I'm happy to do, yes, Midwest Chula. Just gonna get to that. If I can pull a single general card for you guys before I take off. Eileen, thank you for saying so. Jen, you got it. Oh, wait, I have a new deck. Whoa. Where is it? Oh! It's been so long since I got a new deck. Okay, it's called the Land of Giants Oracle deck. It's very fantastical. I'm excited. All right, Jen. Juju, there is a free tier on the Patreon, so you should at least check that out. I do try to post as much content to the free tier as possible. Okay, so I've got Jen, then Jessica, then Keely. Jen. Okay. Interestingly enough, this is the first card I pulled from this deck, and I think this just kind of speaks to where our attention is being pointed. I know the news has a lot of us like, well, I'm not going to say that out loud because that's not funny. The news has our attention. The news has our attention right now in a way that feels very, very scary and intense. So I feel like this is a message for everybody, not just Jen. Just be mindful of where you're pointing your focus. Like, head on a swivel, observe, don't absorb, right? Jessica. 2 worlds. Interestingly enough, this is the second card I pulled from this deck. So 2 worlds can mean a number of different things. Sometimes it means that, like, you know, you do the mundane shit. You do the mundane stuff, like you're working your 9 to 5 or whatever, and you're also a shaman, you're also a practitioner, you're also a healer or whatever. Sometimes it means you have to be an adult and you also have to take care of small kids. Either way, just give yourself credit for being a multidimensional being, okay, and having to be in between worlds. Midwest Chula, and then Keely. Wait, did I miss Keely? Midwest Chula. Opportunity. Midwest Chula, this is like a say yes card. If you feel like there's something fun you want to do, don't put it off. If you feel like there's somebody you want to talk to, don't put it off. Like, it's a very masculine, like, go do the thing kind of vibe. So Spark Something Wonderful. Regarding the crystals, I have an amazing Etsy store that's also in the link in my bio, and I just uploaded, I'm not done with my restock, but I did just put some outstanding pieces up there if you want to go check that out. Keely, and then Nat. Keely. Blockage. I feel it in my throat and I feel it in my solar plexus when I tap into your energy, okay? It's hesitation. It's a little bit of imposter syndrome and a little bit of doubt, and I need to tell you that that's actually okay. You don't need to clear that right now. You can sit with it, like they're saying absorb it, like it'll eventually integrate into the rest of you. It's okay sometimes to have doubt. We don't always have to be 100% certain about stuff. There's wisdom sometimes in doubt, okay? And sometimes you just are listening to the voice in your head that's like, I'm trying to protect you, and you're like, okay, thank you for looking out for me, and we're gonna go do this thing. Nido Nat. Back off. Let me see what that's about, because sometimes that's a like, don't, don't poke the bear situation. And sometimes that's a sign that somebody needs to get their energy out of yours. Survival. I'm going to give you the same message as I gave the first pull. Just be careful of what you're absorbing right now. If you feel like it's icky, if you feel like it's throwing off your vibe, then pause. That's what it feels like to me. It's a really pretty deck. Mimi, thank you. Patreon is a subscription service where you get a certain amount of content from me a month depending on the tier. I also have a mentoring program on there if you guys are trying to develop your own gifts, which is worth checking out. It's a great price point. Brittany, absolutely. Dawn. What's dawning for you? This feels like optimism to me. I have Asylum and Dawn. I need to tell you you're safe. It's almost like you're safe to watch the sunrise wherever you are right now. Or because Asylum is safety. It's feeling like I'm in a place where I can really be myself and be in my own energy. Somewhere where you can see the sunrise, right, is maybe a safer place for you. You got it, Jalen. Hi, Muffy. High tension. What I think is interesting is how like jacked this person is, but their head is still exploding. There's something to be said for like pretending we're okay when we're not. You might need an outlet, especially sometimes this shows up as migraines or headaches too. So you might just need an outlet beyond the physical for whatever tension is in your nervous system right now. And that could be creativity, sleep, talking to somebody. Observe, don't absorb. Yeah, totally. You're welcome, Keely. So guys, everyone asking for a card, I'm only pulling for my subscribers and I'm only pulling for my patrons. Okay, I wanted to make sure that made sense for you, Nat, so thank you for the feedback. Do I have heart-shaped crystals? I have an entire section in my store with heart-shaped crystals. And I have not put them up yet. I'll probably put them up later today. I just got these hearts. It's red calcite and I'm obsessed. They're so juicy. They're so juicy. I got different sizes. So yes, I do. I do indeed. Jalen clocked me. You're always getting it right. Okay, I just need to, meditation. I think everybody should be meditating right now. I really do. I think it will keep you sane. I think it will keep you from engaging in things that aren't yours, so to speak. Thanks for the follow. Cami, I don't have you as a subscriber or a patron, babe. I'm shopping tonight. Do we get postcards from the cards you pull for the subscribers? Yes, definitely. I find that if you're in a group, that's why sometimes I just like hanging out in group readings, because sometimes there is something that really resonates with me. Oh, Nat. Yeah, Nat has bought some really beautiful pieces from me. I should like rename it to like Adopt a Crystal. Dude, look at this. Look at this Orca Jasper. Or excuse me, Orca Agate I just got. This, I also haven't put this up yet, but oh! Cami, thank you for subscribing, babe. My sister's middle name is Dawn, and she was found at sunrise. Eileen! What the fuck, dude? Talk about a billboard. Cami, I'll pull a card for you. The Patreon link, if you click on my name at the top there, it'll take you to my link tree, and then you will find it there, as well as my subscription, or excuse me, my booking link and my Etsy store. And Darlene. Okay, so let me pull for Cami. And I'm gonna pull for Darlene. And then unless there's anybody else, my eye is on that bracelet. The Silomelaine one, the one with the dendritic stuff. Nat. Is that the one you're talking about? Cami. Burning bush and lineage tree. This is about ancestral work. Cami, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm yes, Cami. This has to do with sort of observing what you've inherited from your family and what you want to keep and what you want to let go of. And also understanding the power of epigenetics, which is something I'm fascinated by. Nat, you also get that sick ass discount because you are a patron. I'm just saying, I would love for you to have that bracelet. I would love for you to have it. It's so beautiful. My daughter has a special sense and can use a mentor. I have mentored kids, teenagers, with their parents in the room. Okay, I'm very specific about that. Like I want, and I have a release form and everything. If you guys have kids that are kind of waking up, that is fine. But I do have a release form. It has to be, certain things have to have you in the room with them for everybody's safety. Okay, just to cover all the bases. I'm not educated in working with kids to that capacity, so I need to be very transparent about that. But I also love kids, and I get them. So like it's one of those things. She's 19. Okay, she's okay. Darlene, and then Mama Bear, Darlene, Shri Ganesha, Darlene. I love this energy. I recommend everybody say hi to Shri Ganesha. He is the remover of obstacles, the epitome of cosmic wisdom. He's joyful. He loves sweets. He's wonderful. So there could be something in your life, Darlene, that needs an obstacle removed. And that could just be, working with deities is very specific to every person. That could just be like, how do I remove this obstacle, right? Oh, am I having to do a puzzle piece? That's the first time I've had to do that in a while. And then Mama Bear, let me pull a card for you too. The Joker. Be careful. I know this message has come up like 3 times now, but you know what I'm getting from this, Mama Bear? Be careful of the fucking media. Be careful, even on TikTok. Be careful of the media. Be careful what people are spinning. This feels like the news to me, trying to tell everybody to think a certain way. And notice how it's called the Joker. I like sweets. Awesome. Any other patrons or subscribers I missed before I go for the day? I do unfortunately have to get going, because I have to eat something before I go drive for the next 9 hours. You're welcome. And let's see, Saturday, Sunday, I will do my best. I might not be able to come on this weekend, but definitely give me a follow all the places, guys. Check out the Patreon. I think this is the last day I can say that name without TikTok like marking me or something. Give me a follow here, follow the YouTube. I will try to get this mediumship demonstration uploaded in the next couple of days. That was a really beautiful session. And thank you so much to everybody who held space for that. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for your energy. And I'll see you guys next time.